Hello everybody, this is Gruesome Fox coming at you with two matches here in the buffed Gundam MK-V, and this suit was buffed during the November 2024 unit adjustments. This first match here is going to be a 650 cost rated match on Arctic base, going to be using the level 1 MK-V, and the match following this is going to also be a rated match. That one's going to be a 700 cost match on City Ruins, and that's going to be the level 2 version. So yeah, I have both matches here, both with the level 1 and the level 2 version, and really wanted to use both levels of the suit because the Gundam MK-V, when I saw that it was on the unit adjustment list for the massive unit adjustment for November, I really wanted to try the suit out and see what they did to try and adjust it, because the Gundam MK-V has always been one of my favorite raids to play at 650, honestly. I don't know why, I always just really liked using it, and, well, even though I really liked using it, even I could tell as time began to progress, even after they initially buffed this suit to give it, the shield booster skill and whatnot, after they did that first buff, later, as time progressed, even I could tell that the suit really just started to feel like it was falling behind, and I think another thing that really increased that feeling in a lot of players was the release of the Gundam MK-V MP equipped, that is the general with the missile pods. Yeah, when that suit came out, I heard a lot of people really just trashing on the raid MK-V here and just calling for it to get a buff. So yeah, it just kind of felt like it was something that was really going to come sooner or later. So really glad to see the suit did get, included as part of the massive unit adjustments. And, well, since I'm talking about this unit adjustment so much, I'm going to start going over the list here and, list off what they did to try and help this suit out. So, starting off with the mobile suit specs here, the unit HP was increased from 18,000 to 22,500. And I'm just going to side note real quick, that's a really good amount of HP. That's actually really good. That's a lot more than I feel like most suits get when they get an HP increase. So, yeah, really good start there. The next thing we have is the speed is increased from 135 to 140. The unit skill, Damage Control Level 1, has been given, and for the Level 2, Damage Control Level 2 has been given. The unit skill, Melee Combo Controller Level 1, is adjusted to Level 2, so instead of having 2 melee swings like the MK-V used to have, you now have 3 melee swings. Pretty typical for most raids to have. The unit skill, Assault Booster Level 1, has been adjusted to Level 2, and for the Level 2 version, the skill was adjusted to Level 3. And then we have some increase to the part slots. This is going to be strictly for the Level 2 version. The level 2 close part slots will increase from 27 to 28, the mid-range part slots will increase from 18 to 20, and then the level 2 long-range part slots increase from 9 to 11. And strangely enough, for the part slots, they did put up there that the upper levels have also been enhanced, which is really weird because there's no higher cost version than the level 2. So, kind of a weird inclusion there. I assume that might just be a little bit of a mishap, because usually when they do those part slot updates, usually they have every suit that gets them, and I guess it's just a weird thing, but yeah, it does say these are specifically for the level 2 version. Moving on to the weapons now. We do have the ranged main weapon, the MK-V beam rifle, and for this, the only thing they changed is that the level 2 power was increased from 2,750 to 2,900, and then for the main melee weapon, the MK-V beam saber, we have a pretty similar adjustment here, where the level 2's power was increased from 3,150 to 3,300. So, both for the primary weapons, they do only affect the level 2, which is kind of a good thing, because that does mean it's not going to affect the general MK-V. That means, yeah, only the level 2 version here got its weapons adjusted, so the general version can't really make use of those unless it's in unrestricted mode. So, yeah, that's kind of a good thing there. But moving on to the sub-weapons here, and they did buff both of the sub-weapons for this suit. Going to be starting off with the incoms. And for this, the heat rate was reduced from 50% to 40%, They reduced the time between shooting and attack starts, and the ASL range has been extended. And then finally we have the sub-weapon, that being the rear beam cannons. That's your second sub-weapon. The heat rate was reduced from 75% to 70%, cooldown time was shortened from 1.8 seconds to a flat 1 second, and the overheat time was shortened from 17 seconds to 12 seconds. So that is everything we have for the Mark V's buff list there. Again, really pretty extensive list because it covers practically everything with the Mark V here, from the skills to its weapons. The only thing that they really didn't make any change to, well, not really didn't make anything, the only thing they didn't make a change to was the shield. Because the shield, the shield's pretty fine on this suit, I will say that. It's a pretty big shield. It's a pretty big but thin shield, but it still does, protect you. And you have the shield booster skill associated with it, so I really don't think there's anything they could have done with this that they didn't do the last time they updated this suit. But for the buffs that they did give it, and I'm going to apologize ahead of time because it's probably going to sound like I'm really glazing the Mark V here. These unit adjustments for this suit are really good. Like, I'm not joking when I say I feel like this suit is actually top tier now, which is really drastic because it's just like, it's such a big change from how I was feeling about this suit, playing it before the unit adjustments, playing it when the General Mark V came out, because I didn't have the General Mark V, and that's, again, when I heard a lot of people saying that the raid needed a buff. So I decided to give this suit a try during that time, and I really felt like I was struggling to get anything good with it. And it's just comparing that now to the matches that I have been getting with the adjusted version, this suit just feels really good. For a majority of my matches, I just get really good stats. Especially if our team wins, I just really get high on the scoreboard, top like first, second, third, so again, just really good. I already mentioned that the HP increase is already a really strong start. I feel like that's more HP than mobile suits tend to get when they get adjusted, and seeing that the Mark V is a pretty big suit, I do understand why they went with this adjustment. I feel like you definitely want more HP. Again, because not again, because I haven't mentioned it yet, but 650 has a lot of really good generals, and being a raid, you are going to be weaker to the generals. And at 700 as well, 700 is another cost that just has a lot of really good suits. That's where you find a lot of the 4 stars, and then you have the 5 stars as well, but yeah, again, just another cost with a lot of really good suits, so definitely much to worry about. And before I continue on going over the buffs here, just going to go over the win stats for this first 650 cost match here, because this one did go really well. So yeah, mission completed. We got some good works in the side chat there, and yeah, top in individual, top in assist, and top in diversions. Definitely going to be sending a couple praises to both my team and the enemy team. And yeah, first place overall with first in individual, 6 kills and 3 loss, and yeah, just a lot of really good win stats there. Really just showing off what the Mark V can do now, and that's going to take us to the 700 cost match here. So again, this is going to be the level 2 version of the Mark V, and even the level 2 just was able to hold its own in this match here. So I was really surprised with that, but yeah, carrying on here, talking about the buffs, kind of going over them a bit more in detail. Yeah, having damage control, that's definitely really useful. And then the melee combo controller being adjusted from level 1 to level 2, this has probably been the biggest thing that I've had when it comes to the Mark V, because really having that extra melee swing, it does make a difference in some situations. Because in that first match earlier when I was meleeing the Gundam Mark IV, and there was also the Psycho Bawu, both of those suits, having that third melee swing allowed me to stun them for, I think, get like another stun in on them, and it allowed me to try to back out of there so I didn't have to take any unnecessary damage. So again, really beneficial to have this available to you. And now, since this is going to be the level 2, version here for this match here that's going to, really show a lot more of the level 2 specific buffs, that being the increased damage for the beam rifle and the beam saber. Not really too much to say about those, since those are really more in general damage increases, but it does play into more, again, the 700 here being able to hold its own. But the other really big thing comes from the incom and the back beam cannons. Now, the incom and the back beam cannons, those are your only two sub-weapons, and they really kind of work, they kind of work together the way they're supposed to operate, because unlike the General Mark V, the newer version, the Raid Mark V's rear cannons cannot instant stun, so you have to kind of use a mix of the incoms and the cannon in order to really get a stun. And since they reduce the heat rate for both of these weapons, as well as the cooldown and the overheat for the back beam cannon, you really don't have to worry too much about, feeling like you're going to overheat your weapons and feel out for the count for a bit. Maybe you have to fall back and, wait for those to come out of overheat. You really don't have to worry about that now because, well, again, shorter time. And also, just the attacks seem to ready up a lot quicker, so you can use this way more than you usually could, which is, again, really crucial for the Mark V, because these two weapons do pair together and are very useful when it comes to getting an accumulation, especially if maybe you're trying to, approach a target. You can use that, maybe bait out a tackle or stun, and use your instant stun beam rifle to try to get another stun, so you really have a lot of options when it comes to what you want to do there. But yeah, really good improvements for the whole kit. Again, the only thing that they didn't change with the suit was the shield. So the whole, kit that they did, they really made some nice improvements, even though, when you're just reading the adjustment list, it really doesn't seem like too much, because it's just a lot of standard unit adjustments we've seen before. For the Mark V, it just really works. There's just a lot of really good things that they did with this suit, and I'm really glad, personally, to see that this suit did get buffed, because it really was at the point where it just needed something to help it out. So, yeah, really, really satisfied with the unit adjustments that they did. Again, I might be going a bit too far in saying that I feel like the suit is top tier now. Maybe not super top tier. Maybe maybe I'll be generous and say maybe middle A tier. I'd probably say that'd be the best place to put it, maybe. Even though personally I'd want to put it even higher than that, because I just feel like the suit's really good now. But yeah, really good unit adjustment for the Mark V here. Really wanted to cover this one. So yeah, I really don't have too much else to say for the unit adjustments here. I think I pretty much covered everything I wanted to say about it. I guess I'll just go into some of the other unit adjustments, because I have been trying some other suits as well. The Mark V here really was a priority. I really wanted to get this one out as soon as I possibly could. So yeah, that's why this is coming after the Z2 video. This one here, really my plan is to try to cover one of each class if I can. I don't know which support I'm going to cover yet from the list, since the support unit adjustment list really isn't that big. So I haven't decided yet which one I want to do, or if I'm going to do a support one. I do have a few other suits though from the unit adjustments that I have been trying out. So probably we'll see more of these unit adjustment videos in the future for the November update, because they've just updated so much. I mean, having 30 suits to cover, obviously not going to cover all 30 of them. That would be ridiculous, and I would have to probably post a video every day just for that to work. And well, since we're already nearing December, I don't think that's going to be well within anyone's schedule. So yeah, really just trying to stick to some of the ones that, I thought were really interesting. And the Mark V here, again, really interesting one with how well the suit performs now. Again, I'm probably glazing the suit a bit too much. I feel like, it's really just a matter of opinion. As I mentioned earlier, I really liked using the Mark V for as long as I've had it. Even though if I realized that it was falling behind, it still was a personal favorite suit of mine to play. So, I'm someone like me who just kind of has a bit more of a connection playing this suit. I'm probably going to have a bit more of a positive opinion about it. So, yeah, I guess since I'm going to, start referencing going into the comments to comment what you think, I guess I'm going to start, I'm not going to start, I'm going to stop talking here, let the rest of this match play out, and, want to hear in the comments what you think about the buffed Gundam Mark V. Especially, since I mentioned earlier how people were comparing it to the General version. I'm very curious to hear if you think this suit is really as improved as I'm saying it is, or, maybe it's just something that I'm feeling. So, very interested to hear what the general opinion on this suit is going to be. And, if you enjoyed the video, remember to like and subscribe if you haven't already. And with that, I will see you all in the next one. Later.
The mobile suit has been destroyed. See you soon. Enemy soldier eliminated. Time has run out. All right, we win. Here are this battle's rewards.